If you guys don't have any friends to play with, or if you guys just simply want to complete this game 100% solo, then you've simply come to the right place, because in this video, I will be showing you guys the best way possible to beat Deadrails as a solo beginner player. Before we actually begin, we do have classes here in Deadrails, and as you can see on the left side here, we have different classes. Now, Cowboy is actually a very good solo class because you actually start off with a gun, a horse, and some revolver ammo. However, if you guys are more expert in the game already and you just want to complete it faster, Vampire is what most professionals would recommend because of the movement speed, melee damage, and the Vampire Knife, which is pretty much built-in lifesteal for that class. High Roller is also not that bad since you can have more money to buy guns or buy some metal sheets to protect yourself with. And also there are some speedrunning classes such as Arsonist. However, I feel like Arsonist has been outscaled already and Vampire is just way too good at that point. We also do have different trains in the game already. However, most of these will be too expensive for people who actually don't grind too much. And honestly, they don't really provide that much of a difference here. You're much better off even running the default train rather than the armored train if you guys are just starting out. Now, hopping into the game, we of course have our class items here since we picked the Cowboy class. We start off with a horse. We're gonna go ahead and just tame the horse by putting a saddle on it, get on the horse, and then hop on over to the trading post. This is pretty much where your journey begins. You see this gold bar right here. You collect it, you get your $50 for free. And with the $70 that you actually have, I want you to go ahead and buy 3 coal. Because the first tip that I will be giving you guys is actually value. You need at least 2.5 coal, or even maybe you can run with 2. However, having 3 coal is the safest in order to get to the next zone, which is 10,000 meters. I'll talk more about that later on. But the next thing you actually want to do is pick up all 3 of these newspapers, as you can see. And then what I want you to do is use the first newspaper here to block off the driver's side window to protect yourself from outlaws. And then the next 2 I highly recommend, actually not highly recommend, I definitely will tell you, make them into doors. So as you can see here, we'll just block this off. Make sure you can only enter and exit by going in sideways. If you're able to just charge through, that simply means zombies can actually get in and eat you while you're driving the train. And one of the key things you need to keep in mind about these values that you can see here, every 10,000 meters is going to be a safe zone, and your first town you will actually see it at 7,800 or 7,800 meters. And if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys do hit that subscribe button down below. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers as fast as possible, and every single one of your help will be greatly appreciated. And as you can see here, we have just reached the 7,800 mark, which means our first town is actually going to be here. Now, there are multiple strats on actually how to clear the town. One of those strats is simply just using the vampire and running all the way to the church, and then go to the church and then just throw the holy water all over the zombies. However, if you guys are the cowboy, what you can do is simply drag all of the zombies actually. Now, the only problem with this strategy is the guy that actually has the code will also follow you and most likely get lost. But what you pretty much do is, look at this. Every single zombie here is pretty much out of the town already. What you need to do is just run or outrun these guys actually. And then eventually they'll just stop in the middle. As you can see, they have already stopped. And then all you need to do is actually ride your horse and say goodbye to all those noobs standing in the middle of the railway for no absolute reason. There we go. The guy with the code is dead. Now what you want to do is whip out your sack, drive on over to him, and probably not reach that. Okay, so after multiple newbie fails, we finally got the code in our sack here. What you want to do is actually drive on over to the bank. Now, as you can see, you want to try and avoid these zombies as much as possible. If you guys didn't know already, some of these zombies will run much faster than the regular type of zombies, which is honestly super annoying. And I really hate that they can do that. But eventually, they will just leave us alone because of how fast we can go. And some of them are actually very dumb and just get stuck under the train. And unfortunately, I did leave my horse in the middle of nowhere, so it got eaten up by these zombies. But pretty much what you want to do is just whip out your gun if you guys haven't already, and look at those noobs just standing there. Just come on over and kill these zombies that are actually still left behind here. And also do remember that the game has changed. You can actually do collateral damage, which means you can shoot through many zombies at the same time. And of course, if you guys see useful loot like this, you should actually pick them up. Now, of course, I recommend getting the coal. You don't really need to get those gold watches because you'll need more space for the bank items instead. And also be wary, there are these zombies that have guns. They definitely have aimbots, so make sure you are very careful. A bonus tip for you guys is if you guys have a barrel, just block off the entrance of wherever building you're in to actually make it much more safer. And here we are, we finally did open our first bank. We are gonna be gifted with 5 bonds. We can also, of course, pick up these bars, which will make us rich later on. pick up these coal, pick up the sheet metal, pick up the barrel, and pretty much we can actually go over here to the church. Now the church can have holy water or crucifixes, which can definitely sell for a lot of money here. Of course, don't forget to always check your surroundings for zombies. You can also pick up torches, it's not that bad of an idea here. And a bonus tip that I'm about to show you right now is if your sack is full and you have this crucifix, you can actually just pick it up. Let's check if there are actually other crucifixes in here. Yes, we have. And make sure you guys do value your items properly here. So I'm going to get rid of 1 silver bar here. Gonna get rid of that because we actually don't need it. It's not gonna be more value than a crucifix. So when your bag is full, just simply get it or just pick it up so that you technically have 11 spaces. As you can see, I am holding the crucifix right now, extra space, and I'm still holding a gun, which means I can actually protect myself. And of course, make sure to always check gunsmiths and sheriffs, because as you can see here in this sheriff, I did just pick up an armor and shotgun, which saves me, I think it's like what, $100 combined. Super crazy. And make sure to also be welding these items onto your train right here. For some reason I teleported, but make sure to weld everything on your train so that you can get more values. And for these corpses, you can just feel free to burn them for extra fuel. And when you reach the 10,000 mark, like I was mentioning earlier, you are at your first safe zone. Now what you want to do here is simply sell everything that you actually don't need. So here, we are going to leave this metal sheet alone. This metal sheet is going to serve as an extra layer of protection for me. Barrel is the same thing. You can actually use the barrel to cheese the castle. I might show that later on. But make sure you don't actually bring these coal with you because you're not going to sell the coal. The coal's value is just pretty much for fuel, so don't actually carry them with you when you're going to the trading post. And everything else you want to carry with you so that you can just go over there and just sell them very, very quick. Now that I actually have a ton of money here, the first thing that I recommend you guys buying is actually 2 snake oils. Now 2 snake oils is generally what the average player will need. You don't really need bandages, honestly. Just get 2 snake oils. But when you walk on over to the gunsmith, in case some of you guys are new here, navy revolvers and revolvers pretty much do the exact same. However, navy revolvers are actually more expensive by $5. Shotguns work extremely well against werewolves. Generally, they are the best weapons for werewolves actually. And then you have the best gun in the game, which is going to be a rifle, which is what I'm going to be buying for this run. Rifles nowadays need 2 tap in the head. However, it is still the best gun in the game, so make sure you guys do get that. Trust me, it's going to be worth it. And since we did pick up shotgun from the sheriff here, we are also going to be getting some shotgun ammo here. And as you can see, we have $65 left, which will be spent on actually the general store to get some more coal. Now, there are of course also different types of nights. This one, if it is a full moon that does not have a cloud, it's going to be werewolves. If there is a cloud above it or covering it, it's going to be zombies. When there isn't a moon, it's going to be lightning night. And when the sky actually turns red, it's going to be vampire night. Now, as you can see here, I did indeed just buy myself some more coal here so that we actually have more fuel. Now, these safe zones nowadays is actually going to be really trash. These guys literally have potato aim. No idea why they're even in the game anymore. So make sure you guys do actually have your own train here. Just hide in here. In a strategy, if it's a werewolf night, you can actually just hide inside your train, right? So let's go ahead and check it out. Let's go up here. When you have werewolves spawning in your safe zone and they actually die, a tip, you can just stand here and nothing can actually reach you. So as you can see here, right, werewolves are dying. You can actually go ahead and just sit in the safe zone, wait until it's daytime, collect all of the werewolves' body, and then sell them in the trading post. This is actually a very easy beginner way to make a ton of money. Just AFK in safe zones, make sure you guys don't get hit. And then once the night is over, sell the vampires, sell the werewolves, or use the zombies as fuel. It's really up to you. You guys can definitely do that. It's going to definitely boost your economy by a ton. So it's currently turning daytime already, and what I just passed by is actually a fort. I will go ahead and actually weld this guy onto the train first. We are going to empty our bag here. Let's put all the coal down. Let's just weld it. We will need to get rid of this outlaw because he's going to cause us some trouble here. Let's go ahead and get rid of him. And we actually have all of the dead bodies there already. It's completely fine to just leave them alone. At least we stole a horse. Now, these fort constitutions here is actually quite difficult if you guys don't have enough bullets. So it actually spawns on the left and right side here. You want to stay in corners here. So as you can see, one dude did just indeed decide to spawn. They will also spawn in that house. So just walk in here and they should start spawning. As you can see, just shoot them in the head. Unfortunately, the nerf on the rifle was actually massive. It no longer can one-shot. But what you can do is just wait for them to actually spawn and try to collateral them if you really want to. However, that is of course going to be risky because if a lot of them start spawning, it's going to be very dangerous. Now, of course, if they get stuck, that would be nice, but as you can see here, we did do collateral damage. We killed all of them at the same time. The guy that is wearing black is actually who you really need, because he's the one who actually holds the key, which can unlock the last area over there. So make sure you guys are staying healthy here. If you guys get low, use your snake oils like I mentioned. What you want to do is, of course, pick up the key after you did clear the entire space here. So let's get rid of that guy. I believe it's actually good enough already. Let's go ahead and pick up the key. Let's get on our horse. So here, let's get on the horse. I believe it's already clear at least. Okay, nope, definitely not. We still have enemies here in this house. And unfortunately, the key did despawn. I have been facing a lot of this issue. So as you can see, the gold key is actually gone already. I can't even get into the supply depot anymore. So honestly, there isn't really a point of staying in here anymore because of the bug. And next up, we have the castle. So the important thing about the castle is that we actually have a barrel, which I just picked up. Or you can also use a horse if you so wish, or your horse could get stuck. There we go. So as you can see here, we obviously have a collection of horses. That's not really part of the video though. We are going to go ahead and head over to the castle here. I'll teach you guys right now how to actually cheese it. Now, I won't show the entire thing like me looting, but basically, the castle, you only need a horse or a barrel. Now, this is because you can actually just trap all of the werewolves in there, and all you need to really do is deal with the vampires that will teleport out straight after you enter the castle. So right here, I'm going to show you, we are going to put the barrel down. We're going to go ahead and lead all the werewolves out here. Let's place it down. Now, like I said, shotguns are very good against werewolves here. They are stuck right now. We can deal a lot of damage. But don't forget, there are also these vampires that will spawn. And for some reason, absolutely nothing is chasing us right now. Go ahead and actually just run in, and then let's run back out. Okay, let's put the barrel down. But that's pretty much how you deal with the castle. So I'll move on to the next guide in a second. Now this is a different run right now. I am going to redo the Fort Constitution though, because on the first one, the key disappeared. So pretty much it's the same thing though. You just want to rush in here. Make sure to trigger everybody and just don't die. Just make sure you guys do keep your distance here. Make sure to do as much collateral as possible here. We are going to go ahead and speed run all the way to the key. And this time around, we do have the key. So we are going to go ahead and unlock. So when you do get this unlocked, you pretty much just run in and you have availability of 6 bonds. So that's pretty much it. You can also, of course, get this cannon if you really want to. But honestly, it doesn't really do anything. And then don't forget to come over here to the left side. This one actually has a decent amount of loot. So you can see here, we actually got rifles. You can get navy revolvers, shotguns, and ammo here. And of course, more importantly, you get a decent amount of healing. So you can actually just run away and get out of here. You can also sell this guy for, I think it was $150. So definitely, it's not that bad of an option to just sell this guy. And once you do complete everything, zombies will start spawning. So you really need to actually just get into one of these cannons and just shoot. And pretty much you will have those dudes below us. So they might follow you, which is definitely a better scenario, I guess. But you can just shoot them through here actually, if you guys really want to. Just make them follow you. Whichever ones actually follow you, just shoot them to death. And now that we're actually back in the lobby here, you can see these challenges. These ones actually give you a ton of bonds here if you really want to. So some of these are going to be very simple. So like this first one, this second one. Taming these wolves, it's okay. Drink 10 snake oils, very easy. And then as you progress, a lot of them do become way harder. As you can see here, complete the game without selling anything. You can get 30 bonds, however, that is more difficult and a more advanced thing to do. You can also hop on over to these buy bonds, wherein you can buy bonds itself. Or you can go over to the gunsmith general store, and if you guys have sufficient bonds, you can actually go ahead and buy these. And once you actually start the game, you start off with these extra stuff that you bought with these bonds. But do keep in mind, you don't actually have that every single game. So let's say if I buy a shotgun, when I hop into the game, only that game actually has a shotgun. When I play another one, the shotgun disappears unless I decide to come over here to the shop again and buy another shotgun. That wraps up everything for the video. Like I said, if you guys haven't subscribed already, make sure you guys do subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one.